every way you could, not just, first with, it starts with us as coaches, and we've got to do our job. And then we've got to make sure that we put guys in position to make plays, and then we got to make plays. But it starts, we got to do a better job. I've said that way too many times. I'm sick of saying it. But, these kids deserve better the way they came out all week and how they worked and how they practiced. We had a couple communication things that hurt us that we've got to do a better job making sure that they're all on the same page.
Do you think there are some positives to take away from that, though, going into bye week, hoping you can build off of?
There will be. We'll make sure there are some, believe me. But, there's some series in there that when everybody is on the same page, or we're fitting the run the right way, or we're, doing some good things in the coverage game, that we look like a real football team. And then there's times when we don't.
Were you expecting that kind of balanced offense from?
Yeah, I thought a little bit more run. Obviously, when they got ahead, that's all you saw. But, yeah, breaking them down in the games that we had, you knew they'd be balanced and use the play-action game, but you can only use that if your running game's.
Troy Dye was a guy that you mentioned you were happy to have back. What can he add to this team, even with a guy like Johnny out right now?
Well, he can add a lot. He'll get better every week. He made a couple things that were very good, a couple mistakes, but he'll get better just in the amount of snaps he takes.
What do you tell this team to keep their confidence after just another?
Well, exactly. You got to be honest with them, about, how we evaluate it and how we look at it. And again, it'll start with us, start with me defensively, and then from that standpoint, we'll point out the good things, because there's good things in there. It doesn't feel like it right now, but there's some good things in there.
Seems like you've talked about seeing progress in practice. Is it frustrating then to get to Saturdays and see where it's tough to look at the scoreboard and find that progress?
Well, it's really always tough when there's 70 points up there. It was like a basketball game, and it's frustrating, and you get frustrated because of, we are practicing well. We are doing things very well in practice, and there's just got to keep pushing it and keep feeding it.
I saw you walking off and looking at the scoreboard. It looked like you were looking at the 70. Was that kind of a number that stands out?
Oh yeah, I'll remember it.
In what way?
Because it hurts.
What's it going to take to be able to take this team from a good practice team to a team that can execute on Saturdays?
We just got to keep pushing it. I mean, that's you just got to keep pushing the tempo. You keep pushing the technique and the fundamentals that you want to see. Those things are critical, and you can't. There's no one fix for everything. But our consistency as coaches and what we're doing, that's where we got to make sure we're improving on.
Have you ever had a situation like this before where you thought a team was doing well in practice, then in game days they're not able to live up to that?
I've been through when you thought a team had a great week of practice and it didn't turn out like you'd like it to. But, to this magnitude, no.
The type of players that you need to run the defense effectively right now?
These kids are working hard. I mean, they are absolutely, they're listening, they're learning. We all wish we maybe were a little more ahead, but, there's nothing I can tell you about. These kids are doing everything we want them to do.
What were some adjustments you tried to make at halftime?
The only thing we really needed to do was play blocks better. It was that simple, and making sure guys were telling you what was really happening, So, we just had to work through some of those things. Some of it helped, some of it didn't, and we just, it's like a broken record, but we just got to keep getting after it. That's the only way you'll fix it. It'll be nice to get a couple guys back. Jelks is a guy that, has been a pretty good playmaker in the limited amount he's played, but it'll be nice to get him back.
Is he close? I mean, could he play maybe after the bye?
I would hope so. I'm not the doctor, but I would hope so.
With the bye coming up, what's the game plan going on? Continue what you're doing, or will you look to retool things and use the extra time to kind of go back to basics and start from square one?
You can't go back to square one because square one's pretty good. we've got to go square 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, we need to keep building on what we have from square one. But, you know, during the bye week, one of the worst things you can do is try and overhaul everything you're doing, you know, or prepare too early for the next opponent.
Brady,
I've done that before too.
You've been at this a long time. How do you keep the kids engaged during the second half of the season now?
Okay, number one, the kids who have character, and we've got a bunch of them, they'll stay engaged. The other thing, Coach does a great job in his messaging and his meetings. And the third thing is, I'm very consistent. They know that they're going to get their butt ripped, and they know they're going to get kissed on the cheek. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Yep.